I don't see myself ever going back to iPhone because this phone just does everything I need super quick. Hey guys, how's it going? So it's been about 72 hours, 3 days with the Samsung Galaxy S10 Plus, and I honestly don't even know where to start. See, the whole reason I went away from iPhone is because every single year iOS is practically the same thing over and over and over again. Maybe a few changes here or there, maybe a few extra buttons here or there. I just didn't really feel like I was paying for something that was, incredible. I was paying for something that was very smooth and it had a great ecosystem, but that's pretty much it, in the grand scheme of things. So when I got the Samsung Galaxy S10 Plus, you could imagine the smallest things like shocked me. I was like, damn. And getting used to Android, I thought it was going to be super difficult, but in all honesty, it actually, I kind of got used to it. Like, I took like maybe 2 hours out of the entire day to really play around with it, go through all the settings, go to settings inside the settings, and I pretty much did everything there is to do in terms of settings. And Android is actually pretty easy to get used to. I honestly feel like I've been using it for years now, even though this is my first time using it. Like the smallest of all details, it shocks me why iPhone doesn't have it. For example, if your phone gets a text message while it's on the table, on the couch, wherever it's at, if it gets a text message or any notification, the next time you pick it up, it vibrates without you even having to look at the screen to let you know, hey, you got a notification. Why doesn't iPhone incorporate something like that? Like, that's such a huge benefit. Like, I didn't even think it would be as big as it is, because it actually helps me a lot, because sometimes I pick up my phone and put it straight in my pocket, But I noticed that like whenever I pick up my phone, it vibrates, and before I put it in my pocket, I'm like, oh, I got a notification, and then I reply or answer it, That's such a cool little feature, and for Android, that's been around. If I read correctly, that's been around for like 5+ years. Another cool thing is actually voice recording. You can send a voice recorded message to anyone wherever they are, no matter what it is. If that program allows for text message, you can also use voice message. So I was texting my wife, and then I all of a sudden sent her a voice message, and she's like, how'd you do that? And she has an iPhone, by the way. She has the iPhone 10. And then on iPhone, since you're using SMS, you can't send voice messages at all. Now, granted, if I send her a voice message, it comes through as like a text file. So you click on that text file, and then it brings up a audio track. So it's not as integrated as iMessage, but I mean, it still works. It's still a voice message. So that kind of shocked me. I'm like, hell yeah, I can do that and you can't. And I can do it anywhere. It doesn't matter what program I'm in. Another amazing feature, and this is what I think when I think about multitasking. See, when people think multitasking, they just think, oh, you got the upper half of the screen with YouTube and the lower half of the screen with Facebook. I mean, I personally would never ever use that like combination. But when I think of multitasking, I think of, again, it's the little things. For example, if someone sends me a text message, I get this awesome little green light that goes around the phone. I can flick the message down and answer it no matter where I am. It just goes into a pop-up like picture-in-picture style view. And that's amazing, because I can be watching movies, I can be doing whatever I want, and I can still answer it without having to really go into that text message application. But not only that, you can actually see the entire message or messages that you guys have been sending each other. And you can even go back and look at other messages from other people all in that little pop-up window. Again, it's the little things that really shocked me with Android because of how well they work. Another cool thing about this beastly phone is the battery life. Oh my God. I cannot even explain to you how many times my iPhone XS Max ran out of battery. And in fact, if you guys have seen any of my previous videos, you will see that my iPhone XS Max always had a battery case on it from Apple. The smart battery case. It was like $130. I literally needed that to go through an entire day. Meanwhile, with this phone, I'm easily coming home from work and I don't even need to charge it until maybe, I want to say like 9 p.m. So it lasts from 7 in the morning till about 9 p.m. off the charger. And on screen time, I'm averaging about 7.5 hours to 7 hours and 45 minutes of on screen time pretty consistently. I mean, it's only been 3 days, obviously, but it's been pretty consistent. Like, I haven't really seen any much difference. And from what I've been told, battery only gets better as time goes on because the AI starts to notice and kind of help you out with what apps you need the most battery, and it'll help optimize it and everything. I'm not a rocket scientist. I don't know how that works, but the fact that the battery can get better, it just blows my mind because this thing is so thin. I have a case on it, by the way, but it's so thin, and it has a 4100 milliamp hour battery. I just don't understand. This thing is just fantastic. Honestly, this is the phone that I've been missing for a while. Another small thing is Google Assistant. I've tried Bixby out, by the way. I know you guys, a lot of comments have been saying, hey, try out Bixby, don't listen to the haters. But the haters were correct. It is pretty horrible. The only thing I use it for is Bixby routines, and I will get to that later. But Google Assistant is like comparing, I don't know, an 8-year-old child to a doctor in terms of like, well, that was a weird comparison, but in terms of like stuff that they know. Like, if you ask Google something, it just sounds so much better than Siri. It gives you way more information than Siri does, and it's way faster than Siri, honestly. And overall, it's just much more human-like, if that makes sense. I mean, hang on, just check this out. I'm gonna ask Google, give me a joke. Hey Google, give me a joke.
One joke coming up. What happened to the plant in math class? It grew square roots.
See, it's just like that corny little stuff. It makes sense. The little details is what really matters. So I'm just gonna do one more and then call it a day. Hey Google, give me a joke.
One joke coming up. What's Forrest Gump's password when Forrest won?
It makes more sense if you actually look at it, because it literally is like one Forrest one. So that's pretty funny, but it's just small stuff like that. But this thing actually gives you like actual information. Like Siri, it's just like, oh, I found your web result here, and you have to click on it. It opens up in the internet, then you can find and read the answer on your own, right? But with Google, it literally reads it out for you, like your actual answer. Just after using Siri for so long, moving over to Google Assistant is like mind-bending. It's Google. I now understand why Google Assistant is so much better than Siri. It's only been 3 days. So another cool feature that I didn't really think I would use just because I'm so used to using it on the actual application would be Instagram mode. So now if you go to your camera and you go all the way to the left, the most left option, it'll give you Instagram. Whenever you use that feature, you still get access to your 24 millimeter camera, your 50 millimeter camera, which is the telephoto, and then your 12 millimeter camera, which is the super wide angle lens. You still get access to all that to use with your story mode or Instagram stories, or post directly from the camera application. So you don't need to, take a picture and then go to Instagram and then either put it on your story or make a post. You can do that all straight from the actual camera application. The one thing though is that if you're the type of person that likes to record music as you are shooting your Instagram video, since it is using the actual camera application, it cuts off the music. But that's still not a problem because Instagram has that little music option at the very end, so you can still add music after you have recorded the video, and then once you put it on Instagram you can add the music, so that's not a problem. But I've actually used it a few times, and from what people have told me, quality from the camera application, if you import it into Instagram from the application, from the camera application, it actually is pretty much one-to-one quality, so you're not really getting any quality loss, if compared to actually using the Instagram application to do the post or recording a video from there. So if you guys have this phone and you use Instagram stories or Instagram posts a lot, I highly recommend you actually use the camera application on your phone to do all your Instagram, sharing needs. One last final thing that really I thought it was a gimmick at first, but then it turns out that I actually use this feature like all day, and that's gonna be the edge bar. Yeah, we all know the edge bar, right? This little thing that just pops up right there. Where is it? Where did I put the hotkey? There you go. I forgot where I put the little bar. But yeah, the edge bar. I only have it set to like my favorite apps that I use the most, and then the weather just for quick weather information. But when I first, got the phone and I first kind of played around with it, I didn't really think much of it. I was like, oh, that's cool. And then I forgot about it. And then it wasn't until the second day and the third day that I really was like, damn, this thing is like really speedy. Like if you put your favorite apps, you don't ever have to pretty much go home. Like you don't ever need to hit the home button because all your favorite apps are right there. And then you get more information, the weather, and you can even add more things to it. So, hey, good job Samsung on that smart move. Well guys, that's about it. That has been my 72-hour review and kind of like second impressions of the Samsung Galaxy S10. If you guys have any questions or any tips, anything that you guys want to share to help me get, more information about this, operating system and this phone, tips and tricks, whatever it may be, leave them in the comment section down below because I read every single comment, literally. Every single comment I read. And I definitely take your tips and tricks into consideration. I've actually learned a lot from you guys in my previous video, so thank you. But a full review is going to be coming up later on the week. I'm thinking maybe Friday. I should, pull together a full review pretty much for you guys. And it's been a great journey. I don't see myself ever going back to iPhone because this phone just does everything I need super quick, like really smooth. I mean, this thing is really, just wow. I can't even put things into words right now. But guys, that is it. Subscribe, like the video, share with your friends, dog, family members, even people that you hate. Share them this video. All right, adios.